Well, it's interesting that you say that. I mean, usually when people play pranks like that, they are also able to disprove it. One of the things that we would have thought the Rivers State government would have done is to disprove it using technology as well. That that was not the audio of the governor, and even the people who spoke, who were allegedly on the other side of the telephone, that was also not their audio as well. But you have said that the Rivers State government will not be a part of the IGP's investigation because it would seem that you already perceive a bias. At the same time, you have set up your own commission of inquiry, and you say that in that one you will be neutral. What is the guarantee if you don't believe that the IGP can be neutral in his own investigations? Why is anyone to believe that you'll be neutral with the commission of inquiry that you set up?
No, our own commission of inquiry has nothing to do with this so-called PIP, that seeks to impersonate the governor. We are not interested in that. The mandate of the commission of inquiry doesn't cover that because, the governor never made any contact, whether in person, by proxy, or by telephone with any INEC official. In any case, there were over 2,000 or 3,000 INEC officials who could he have spoken to. It's just nonsense, So that has nothing to do. Our commission of inquiry has nothing to do with the audio tape. We understand. We as I speak, we have not received any official correspondence from the IG, but we understand from media reports that the IG's panel has to do with investigating the so-called tape. We are not interested in that. We can't respond to those kind of things. So there's a fundamental difference between the two responses. They seem to be obsessed about a teenage, audio impersonation of the governor. They want to investigate. Good luck to them. We are not interested in that. We are not going to be part of that. It's a distraction as far as we are concerned. Concerning whether we should show proof. Markway, you asked something about the state government showing proof that we are not involved. That looks like inverse proposition to me. I would have thought that those who make the allegation are those who have the burden of proof. We will not give any further response to this kind of childish prank, frankly, and I don't want to focus on that. Our own focus is how can we deliver service to our people. That is our constitutional mandate. We are in a social contract with the Rivers State people.
How can you deliver service to people who are not secure, who are not comfortable in their environment?
Oh no, I just told you that we do not have nearly as much security problems as the media tends to portray it. Look, we have over 44,000 civil servants in Rivers State, and they go about their jobs every blessed day without any security breaches. All federal agencies work in Rivers State without security breaches. We've had over the past 1 year all manner of conferences, local, professional, and international conferences that pass off without a single security breach. All of a sudden, when we want to hold elections, we the media and politicians on the other side dredge up this boogie, of insecurity in Rivers State, and soon after the elections, we seem to go back to normal. So my own understanding is that, this whole, mythology about Rivers State being insecure is just a narrative constructed by the opposition, just to blackmail the government, and we've never been distracted by that. I just told you the kind of achievements, the government has recorded. We will not. In Yota, we will never be distracted by this kind of, negative narrative. We are going to remain focused on delivering service to our people. It's not surprising that the governor has been declared by so many media outfits as the best governor of the state. Knowing him as closely as I do, I know he's embarrassed by this kind of commendation. But he doesn't go about looking for laurels. He's single-minded about developing the state. If you recognize it, that's fine. But the Rivers people are happy with him. The administration is on the track of development. In the coming year, we are going to place even more visible attention on health and education and provision of critical infrastructure. That is our focus. We are not going to be distracted by politics.
Which a lot of people will be looking forward to, especially with the suit story. But quickly, before we wrap up, I was going to ask you what your response will be to the DSS making allegations that the state government was going to sponsor protests here in Abuja.
It's nonsense. I mean, before the DSS came up with the allegation, series of protests had been held in Abuja, sponsored by Mr. Rotimi Amechi, the Minister for Transportation, and the APC, against the governor of Rivers State, right there on the streets of Abuja for days on end. The DSS didn't raise this kind of alarm. All of a sudden, they came up with this statement alleging that the governor was now the one who was going to sponsor this protest. We would, as I said in the beginning, be happy to work with the military, with the joint security forces and all security agencies. But there seems to be a pattern of wanting to blackmail the governor in Rivers State, and we will resist it. I can tell you, the governor has no interest. He hardly even travels outside the state. Most of the time, you'll find him at project sites rather than in the office. Whenever he's in the office, it's to make approvals, but more of the time, you find him at project sites. He's not distracted by what is going on, in the newspapers and what the opposition says. What interest would it be, going to sponsor a protest or creating disturbances in Abuja? Why? His direct administrative jurisdiction is Rivers State. He's delivering service to the people. Why would he worry about what somebody thinks in Abuja or Sambisa Forest? He's not interested in that. He wants to deliver service. He will not be distracted. And we reject all of these childish allegations coming from all quarters concerning disturbances being sponsored by the governor. He has no reason to do that. He's contented as governor, he's delivering service to the state, and he will not be distracted by all these allegations.
Okay. Mr. Tam-George, Mark,
No. I think you have to just go ahead and do what you need to do, please.
No, I was going to ask Mr. Tam-George about, even though he said they were not going to give any more credence to that audio file that's out there in social media, in that file also the governor said, the alleged voice said they're going to release a CD to implicate or to show what the other party collected and all of that. Are you saying you're not even going to?
No, I won't respond to that kind of nonsense. If you ask me questions about progress of development in the state, I'll be more concerned about that. Our own job is not to dignify this kind of nonsense. We are not interested in this. He who makes the allegations should show proof. I just told you there were over 2,000, over 2,000 INEC officials, that conducted the elections in Rivers State.
There are those who believe that the biggest problem of Rivers State in terms of security of lives and property to the people and the concerns, their psychology and all of that has to do with the leadership. So if you take out the former governor, they say take the former governor and the current governor out of the situation in Rivers State and everything will return to normal and Port Harcourt can return to the garden city it used to be. What's your reaction to that kind of?
Well, my reaction is that we have a governor now who was duly elected. His victory was affirmed by the Supreme Court. You can't wish that away. He's there. The former governor was Speaker for 8 years, Speaker of the House of Assembly in Rivers State for 8 years. He was governor in Rivers State for another 8 years. You would expect by simple logical extension that he will live freely, and now he's a federal minister. He's got his own mandate, he's got his own job cut out for him. At the federal level. Why don't you focus on that? Why all this kind of orchestrated crisis in Rivers State? So, we are not even concerned about that. The governor remains undeterred. He wants to deliver service. He feels that he is in a social contract with the Rivers people. And that contract means delivering service in a practical, non-abstract way, life-changing way to the Rivers people. Those who want to play politics eternally, it can go on. But, Markwaya and her team, they've been to Port Harcourt several times to interview the governor. Chamberlain led the team the other day, last week or so, to visit some project sites. These are the things we are interested in. How can we change the living conditions, the material conditions of our people? Those who want to get eternally sucked into politics can have their day. We are focusing on development of our people.
Thank you very much, Mr. Tam-George. Is the Commissioner of Information, Rivers State, Austin Tam-George. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We're back in a moment. Please don't go away.